I just wanna know. She couldn't she will on a condition. Sembeleze tatina, usaunganitone. Baka pukula vendilanga, muchifungo ngavivele. Sembeleze mukoma, usaungangalinani. I just wanna know. She couldn't she will on a condition. She couldn't.
Good morning, everyone. I'm briefly gonna put on my video so you can see who's speaking. My name is Daniel Dehashu. I'm with the Southern Africa Litigation Center, and thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm going to go through a few housekeeping rules. Welcome, and thank you for taking time out. This is a safe space for everyone. We do encourage engagement in a respectful manner, so everyone still feels safe. The mics and videos will be disabled, but if you do have pressing issues or questions for the speakers, please raise your hands or put it in the chat box. This meeting will be recorded, and we are also live on Facebook. We will put the link in the chat box to share with partners that are not able to join on the Zoom space. I'm going to now hand it over to Anna, who will be chairing our meeting today. Thank you, everyone, and welcome. Anna.
Thank you, Danny. I'll put on the video for a bit, so you see who is speaking. As my colleague Danny introduced me, my name is Anna Chalmers. I work for the Southern Africa Litigation Center, focusing on LGBT work specifically. I am from and based in Botswana, and SARC, we work regionally all over the region, the countries in Southern Africa specifically. So just as a bit of an introduction, this webinar is organized in collaboration with TVZ based in Zambia. I don't know if they are here, if there's anyone here from TVZ. Please do a little bit of a welcome before we proceed. I don't know if there's anyone, because I've been looking for someone. Otherwise, we'll do that at the end of this introduction. So, just as a brief background, last year, early last year, towards when President Trump took power, there was a spike in hate speech, particularly online, targeting LGBT people, specifically trans people, especially after the announcement of only one sex, only two sexes, or only two sexes, yeah, by Trump, and after the shrinking of funding, the stoppage of funding, there was quite a lot of attacks, specifically targeting LGBT persons, based on the stoppage, the financial stoppage, and discontinuation of health interventions. Because of that and many other reasons regarding to hate speech targeting marginalized groups, SARC, in collaboration with the partners that we had then, commenced a hate speech campaign. Mainly, we were doing that campaign online and still are. And so many issues came up from, we did legal empowerment online webinars, looking at the laws that each country in Southern Africa have to address hate speech. And, as we all know, a lot of countries don't have hate-specific laws, but we have constitutions, we have, other criminal law that, communities and marginalized groups can use to address hate speech. So then we embarked on a whole process of looking at what are some of the strategies that we can use to address hate speech. And one of the strategies that communities came up with and really, really thought was important is filing complaints with human rights mechanisms in country, local human rights mechanisms, and raising concerns that most of the time, communities don't have that, working relationships with human rights commissions or ombuds, or they feel like, because of criminalization and other issues, discrimination, most of their concerns, human rights concerns, are not taken into consideration. Or if they are taken into consideration, the process is very slow, there's usually no feedback, etc. So we then started this collaboration with national human rights institutions in many countries in Southern Africa, including Eswatini, Namibia, Botswana, now Zambia, to really have a look at how can communities file complaints? What is the process? How is it done? How easy it is? How accessible are human rights institutions in all our countries, so that communities can report or compile or file hate speech or any other complaints with the human rights institutions. This is why we are here, to do exactly that. I know the Human Rights Commission in Zambia, they do a lot of public awareness around how people can use the Human Rights Commission, but we also know that most marginalized groups are often not able to access those public spaces. So any other space is really handy for the Human Rights Commission to take its services to the people. And we are really, really, really grateful that the Human Rights Commission in Zambia, has heard our call and was able to agree to partner with us and the Transbantu in Zambia. So with that, Emilia, are you here to do a brief welcome? Yeah, I can see you there. Please welcome the participants.
So sorry, I'm having a connectivity issue. Could you please come again? Hello?
Yes, I was saying, please welcome everyone to the webinar. Just two, 3 words. Thank you, Emilia.
On behalf of TBZ, my name is Emilia. I'm Programs Officer for Transbantu Association Zambia. Thank you so much for taking time to our partners, as well as I see some HRC person from here, and SAUC for putting this together. I think in this time it's very important, especially now before elections, when the community will be under scrutiny, as well as facing hate speech, and also hoping that there's not much of, but it may happen, arbitrary arrests. Looking forward to the engagement with everybody. I don't know if we can get into intros.
Thank you so much, Emilia. So just to say that the knowledge that's going to be shared here and the webinar is focused broadly on marginalized groups, including persons with disabilities and all those who often can't access spaces where the Human Rights Commission is raising awareness, and not just LGBT groups or CSOs. And so please do encourage organizations of other vulnerable and marginalized groups to take part in this webinar. And with that, without further ado, we only have 1 hour, 30 minutes or so. I would like to welcome the Director of Complaints Investigation, Siatakwi Shakespeare, to take us through the presentation. Mr. Shakespeare, you're welcome.
Thank you. As it has been indicated, my name is Shakespeare Siatakwi from Zambia. I'm Director Complaints and Investigations. So I thought you were saying you do the introductions. Is it okay I just proceed?
Yes, I think if there is anyone from the Human Rights Commission that's with you, please feel free to introduce them, but then you can proceed.
Okay, thank you. So that is my presentation. Are we able to see the screen?
Yes, yes. You can just make
Okay.
it big. Yeah.
I make it big?
But
Hello?
we can see it, yes. We can
You
see
can
it.
still see that?
Yes.
Okay, that's the presentation on the Zambia Human Rights Commission. So I'll briefly talk about the hate speech. As you indicated in your concept note, in Zambia, the hate speech is usually governed by our penal code. The penal code, makes it a crime when someone is involved in a hate speech. So this is the law which has been running with the country for a number of years, but there was some developments last year. The country came up with the Cyber Crimes Act, where they are trying to enhance the crime on hate speech. That is involving the transmission of that message through electronic data or any publication. So this law came in just to enhance the criminal part of the hate speech. So with that said, let me quickly go into my presentation. So basically that's the outline. I'm talking about the establishment of the institution, the mission, the core principles of the commission, the mandate, functions of the institutions, the structure, composition of the institution, the committees, powers and the investigative tools of the institution, reporting of complaints, remedies, financial provisions, immunity of the commission against execution of judgments or court orders, and general offenses. So this institution is established under our constitution of the country. That is under Article 230 which establishes the institution. Further, apart from that, the institution is supported by an enabling act of Parliament, which we call Human Rights Commission Act number 4 of 2024. Then apart from that act, there's another act which was brought on board in 2023, which is access to information, which adds the mandate of this institution. So the institution is guided by the Paris principles, as we all know how the national institutions are guided. So the institution is accredited to Gunnery, as we all know that the national institutions, they are accredited to Gunnery and Nunnery. So the mission of the institution is to promote and protect human rights. Its vision is to make sure that the individual's rights are promoted, protected, and respected. And the values, it preaches impartiality, integrity, transparency, and accountability. The core principles of the institution, these are provided in the Act, which I already stated, the Act number 4 of 2024. This Act was, it came into operation in 2024, as I indicated. So the principles there are integrity, professionalism, propriety, and respect for human rights. So this institution has a legal personality through the Act, which I'm talking about, the Act number 4 of 2024. The institution can be sued now, and it can sue. The mandate of the institution are provided in the Constitution and in the Act. So basically, the mandate of this institution is to promote the Bill of Rights. In fulfilling this mandate, it implements the following functions. One, it investigates and reports on the observance of rights and freedoms, take necessary steps to secure appropriate redress where rights and freedoms are violated, endeavor to resolve a dispute through negotiation, mediation, and reconciliation. It carries out research on rights and freedoms and related matters. It conducts civic education on rights and freedoms. Then it can also perform any other duties as prescribed under the Act. So additional functions, apart from what is outlined in the Constitution, the functions are replicated in the Act. So in the Act, you find that the institution who have mandate to investigate an alleged violation or abuse of human rights. It also does the research. The same functions which are outlined in the Constitution, they are also replicated in the Act. But the only provision in D there, which does not appear in the Constitution. The institution visits places of detention, visits correctional facilities, child reformatory centers, and wherever people are kept in a facility like an orphanage center, the institution will have a mandate, or it has powers to go and see how those people are kept in those facilities. Then in addition to that, the other functions are to collaborate with the other institutions, as we are doing now, to cooperate with the other institutions and organizations which promote the promotion and protection of human rights, establish referral mechanisms, prepare and publish independent reports relating to human rights. In that, we advise the government when we are doing our universal periodical reports. The Human Rights Commission, it puts an input in that. Then apart from that, we advise on the adequacy and effectiveness of the law and practice relating to protection of Human Rights Commission. Then we monitor government compliance in international treaties. Then apart from that, the other mandate which I was talking about, the access to information which was given to the institution, we make sure that the information holders, they provide or they make avail the information to the information seekers or people who want to have that information from them. So apart from that, as I indicated, access to information, this is an additional mandate which was given to the institution in 2023. Generally, this is an act which gives this institution mandate to hear and determine appeals against decisions of information holders relating to access to information. When an institution or an individual requests to have an information from the information holder, and the information holder tend to resist to release that information, the institution is given mandate to determine the appeals which are presented before it, so that deliberations can be done and find out why that information has not been, given to the institution or individual seeking it. So apart from that, that's the brief structure of the institution. We have Complaints and Investigation Department, which I head. Then we have Compliance and Legal Services Department. This is a department which presents our matters before the court. Remember, I've said that this time the institution has a legal personality where we feel the underprivileged people who have been directed in a hate speech, they are not receiving the remedies which they require. This department will assist to take the matter before the court. Then we have the Education, Training and the Advocacy Department. This is a department which is involved in information dissemination. Then we have Research and Mechanism Department. This department helps us where we identified that there are gaps, just to find out, to fill in the information which is missing. Of course, the Human Resource, this is a supporting department which makes the institution large. So currently the institution is in 10 regions of the country. We are just at the headquarters of these regions. We haven't centralized to the districts. So that is generally, just in brief, the composition of the institution. It has a board, then the secretariat, which does the day-to-day running of the institution. Apart from that, that is just outlining how the meetings of the boards and the secretariat, tend to be linked when when the proceedings are going in the institution. That continues. So that is just to outline how the board delegates its powers to the secretariat. There are committees where the board is not able to sit. It has created committees which generally looks at its individual required issues before they are presented before the boards. The committees will scrutinize. So I thought of just laying the background of how the institution operates. So I proceed. The institution is headed by the Director General, who is the head of the Secretariat. Under the Director General, that's where we find ourselves, the directors of these departments, which are outlined on top there. So the powers of the commission and the investigative tools, I think this is where our interest is so much based. So as I indicated that this institution is governed by the constitution of the country, then apart from the constitution, there's an enabling act, which I said is Act number 4 of 2024. So under the Act, we have section 17 of the Act, which provides for powers of search and entry for purposes of protecting human rights. So when the officers are conducting their investigations and they have a feeling or they have evidence that there is an institution which is holding on some information which can help to conclude the matter which is being investigated by the institution, they have the powers to go to search that institution, of course, using the powers which are provided by the court. Warrants will be, drawn, the usual procedures when you are doing a search. Those which are followed, a search warrant will be obtained, court orders in some cases are obtained. So under section 17(1), this provides an authorized officer for the purpose of notice and purpose of notice of protecting human rights and freedoms at any reasonable time without prior notice and on the authority of warrant, enter a premises. This is just recalling what I was explaining, the procedures which the officers uses when conducting the search at the premises. So apart from that, section 17(2) continues. It elaborates the procedures which we use to conduct the search. The officers will draw documents. These documents, depending on the circumstances of the case, they will be filed before the court so that the order is issued by the court to search that premises. So what we need to note is that the institution has no powers under this act where the matter is pending before the court. Section 22 does not allow the institution to dive into the matter which is before the court. So I continue. Under section 18 of the Act, this one, it gives, it outlines the people, the way the institution can receive the complaints which can be filed before the institution. So under section 18(1), the institution on its own initiative, that is, if it identifies a group of people or an individual who is affected by hate speech, the institution on its own initiative, it can institute an investigation, open up a matter and make follow-ups, interview all the relevant stakeholders or individuals who are involved so that the evidence can be gathered. Apart from that, a receipt of complaint can be filed, or the institution can receive a complaint from an individual who has been affected. Apart from a person who has been affected, a person who's got interest in the matter can also file a complaint with the institution. Or if a person is not able to file the complaint with the institution, an association acting on behalf of a group of people or an individual member of public who is affected by the hate speech can file a complaint with the institution. So apart from that, we have our colleagues in the civil society world who also represent people. They also file complaints with the institution. So the powers which the institution have when a matter is filed before it has powers to issue summons, to order the attendance or the individual who is required to provide any evidence to appear before the institution. It also has powers to question any person in respect of any subject matter under investigation before it. It also has powers to require any person to disclose any information within such person's knowledge relevant to any investigation by the institution. It can also summon witnesses. We summon witnesses whom we feel these are people who are holding some information which can be provided for the matter to be concluded. So under section 19, a complaint or allegation referred to under section 18 is made orally or in writing, or currently we have a complaint can be filed through our Facebook, through a phone call. We've got what we call a toll-free line where people can phone in and they have their matter recorded. Or if they cannot orally file in their complaint this time, they can even email the institution and their matter is opened up, a follow-up is made. So the other ones here under section 19.3 there, we are just demonstrating what needs to be done if a matter is filed orally. The person needs to sign the complaint form. Where they cannot sign, they can use the thumbprint just to make sure that what is recorded and what they are filed in is a true picture of the matter which they want the institution to make a follow-up. So under 4 there, the institution has the limitations. A matter which has not been reported in the last 3 years from the time when the matter was known to have existed, the matter cannot be admitted by the institution. The law tends to keep to have a barrier. If a matter happened 5 years before it was brought to the institution has no mandate to receive such a matter and to make a follow-up. Then those are the modes of receiving complaints which we use. We are saying that a complaint can be filed in person. As I indicated, there's a toll-free line which is 8181, which people use to file in their complaints. So apart from that, we've got a WhatsApp line where our people who are aggrieved can file in a complaint to our platform. Then we use the messenger facilities, which is on the social media. So the aggrieved persons, they are also able to file in through that platform where they are aggrieved. As I indicated, we are present in the headquarters of the regions of the country. So people are also able to file in complaints through our offices in the region using the phone numbers which we provide on the platform. So the remedies which the institution provides. When a matter is filed in with the institution does its investigations, then it comes to a conclusion, and after making that conclusion, then those are the following remedies which the institution provides. One, the commission, the institution makes a recommendation to an appropriate authority. When we say appropriate authority there, when, for example, there is an unlawful detention which the institution has established, the institution will make that recommendation that the person who is in the detention, who is detained unlawfully, can be released. In B there, we are talking about an order of payment of compensation. A person who has alleged hate speech and filed a complaint with the institution, the institution establishes through its investigation that it really is true that hate speech has been directed to this person, and depending on the circumstances and the facts which are available, the institution makes orders for payment of compensation. In this situation where a compensation is directed or is ordered, if the other party which has been ordered to compensate does not comply, as I indicated, we have the legal department on top there, which I indicated. The legal department can commence an action against that individual who has failed to follow the order of the institution, so that he or she is compelled, or if it's a company, it is compelled by a court order to compensate. Then the institution also recommends punishment for persons who have been found to perpetrate such an action of hate speech. The recommendation of punishment, it will depend on the nature of the cases or of the case which has been reported to the institution. So the punishment will take in different forms depending on the nature of the complaint, how it was, the gravity of the offense which was committed. So apart from that, in D there, the Commission may recommend appropriate action to remedy human rights violation. This takes different forms. In some cases, for example, where the institution feels that if it's a company which has been involved in this matter, that's away from hate speech, it can recommend maybe for the revocation of the license. Where the circumstances will determine, in some cases, we recommend even for deportation of persons who have been involved in such actions. So in there, the forms of a recommendation or punishment will differ depending on the nature of the complaint or the circumstances of the case. So now, how do we make sure that what we have recommended is implemented? So the bullets I've put down there, they are showing the appropriate authority has the obligation to submit a report to the institution. It gives some timelines to see that there is implementation of what the institution has recommended. So pursuant to section 21(5), the Commission has litigation powers, as I indicated. Where there is no compliance, the institution will commence some legal proceedings on behalf of the people who have been affected, and the normal procedure of the court will take place, where now the court will determine what type of punishment should be meted. So on financial provisions, the institution, these are just administrative issues, how the institution runs its affairs. Any institution, for it to run, there are resources which are required. So I just thought of sharing with you on how the institution runs. The institution is given an opportunity to run through the government budget, And apart from government budget, it's given an opportunity to get, resources from cooperating partners. A number of cooperating partners, like any other national human rights institutions, they come on board. Mostly the UN system assists in this line to make sure that the institution lands, according to its plans. So generally, that's what I just thought of talking about on the financial provision for the institution. So apart from that, the institution, it has the immunity under section 29(1) of the Act. The Act provides that where judgments or orders of the court are obtained against the institution, no execution or attachment of its property are allowed under this Act. So no one can get, as they are indicated on top there, that the institution has legal personality. When it is sued, an institution or individual may get an order against the institution. So the institution, the judgment cannot be allowed to be executed against the institution, or no property of the institution can be attached to that judgment so that it is executed. So apart from that, the institution is not, when you say it's immune, however, the commission is still liable to pay any liability incurred by the commission. This means that judgment or court orders against it will be met, or the compensation or whatever the court has ordered is usually met through its revenues. The revenues which is available for the institution is the one which is used for it to pay the court order. So the general offenses under the Act, these offenses are outlined in the Act just to make sure that the institution operates smoothly. So under Section 31, the Act states that a person shall not, in Section 31, the Act states that a person shall not, as a witness before the commission, without lawful excuse, refused to be sworn in. These are procedures which we use to make sure that the witness or a person who is appearing before the commission cooperates. In B there, we are saying knowingly making or cause to make to the commission a false testimony. In C, we are saying knowingly misleads the commission or any other officer of the commission. These are procedures to make sure that we are receiving credible information from witnesses when the institution is conducting its processes. In D, we are saying he obstructs, assaults, or insults, hinder, or delay an officer of the commission in the lawful exercise of his or her functions. In E, we are saying unlawful influence a decision of the commission or coerce the commission to make a decision. So these are safeguards which are provided in the law just to make sure that we provide credible and professional decisions of the institution. We don't want our officers, when they are in the field, to be coerced, or we don't want them to be obstructed. In some cases, there are witnesses or perpetrators who tend to be hostile. So under this section, the institution is covered. The officers of the institution are covered as they are operating, as they are executing their duties. So apart from general offenses, there are regulations under the schedule of the Act. Under these regulations, they just add on the powers of the officers as they implement or as they do their investigations to make sure that we come up with the credible information or credible decisions which should be respected by other institutions. So those regulations, they are just an addition. So in my conclusion, I can say that the Human Rights Commission Act number 2024 is the guiding, registration for the institution to make it operate smoothly. And in whatever we do, they are given in that guidelines. Apart from that guidelines, then we have subsidiary, policies down there, which helps the institution to operate, smoothly. But mainly, this act is the one in which we use as our guideline. Then in two, the act has adopted the key pillars of the Paris principles relating to any national human rights institution, which are pluralism, independence, and which makes the institution to be effective. Then the Zambia Human Rights Commission and its officers have a constitutional and statutory mandate to ensure that the people of Zambia enjoy their human rights, which should be respected, promoted, and be protected. Every member of staff of the commission has a role to play in all this so that the work of the institution is done properly. So HRC is conducted through the provincial offices, which are present in 10 provinces. As I indicated, there's a toll-free line, the WhatsApp line, the website, then there's an email where we get our complaints through. We have Facebook, then Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. But generally, colleagues, the issues of hate speech in Zambia, they are not so much amongst the communities. What we have seen, where we have had the issues which the institution has made follow-ups, there are issues which concerns the politicians. The politicians amongst themselves, they tend to issue statements. I think for the past 1 or 2 years, they have appeared before our court. A number of them have been convicted and served the sentences, but others, they still have their cases which are active before the courts. So as the institution, we have come in, as human rights institution, even if a person has committed an offense of hate speech, there are instances where of hearing their matters applies to them like any other citizen in the country. So generally, we have had the pockets of hate speech of, people, indigenous people. There are people in the country who claim to be indigenous, and there are situations where the hate speech has been used against them in terms of, where there are land disputes, they want to be, displaced from where they are. The institution has handled such cases, and some cases have been resolved. Other cases where the institution has failed to resolve them outside court, it has taken them before the court so that the decisions are made by the courts. So generally, that's what I can present for Zambia Human Rights Commission. Thank you very much for your attention. I'll invite questions and comments if there are any from my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shakespeare, for that great presentation. It's really impressive that the Zambia Human Rights Commission has done so much. I was really happy to hear that action has been taken against people who did hate speech towards indigenous people and all that. So it's really impressive, especially the mention of politicians. I agree, politicians tend to use political platforms to spew hate speech towards different groups. That's very common, and I'm really glad to see that action has been taken, and would really be glad if more action can be taken, particularly also including hate speech targeting LGBT community, and particularly also religious leaders who tend to use religion as a a cloak and something that gives them permission to push hate speech. Please, questions, we'll unmute you to ask questions. If you have questions, seek clarification. This is the chance to do that. Please raise your hand. I see Caroline. Caroline's hand is up. Can you unmute Caroline, please?
Hi again. Sorry, I just wanted some clarity on the presentation. I think there's a part that Mr. Shakespeare mentioned on how the matter cannot be reported. I think I just need to get clarity. So you said 3 years from when the incident happened, or when, for example, the incident is made aware to the organization, either like maybe in this case, maybe the Lotus Identity or maybe the Human Rights Commission itself. Just the clarity on the 3 years part there. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Caroline, for that question. We'll take a few more questions before Shakespeare can answer the questions, just to make it easier. Any more questions that seek clarity and yeah. For me, I just wanted to ask the issue around anonymity. I know that from the previous webinars we've had, that's where especially criminalized populations or communities asked whether they can report anonymously, just an anonymous report that there's this thing happening without mentioning their name and so forth. Yeah, just to seek clarity around that. And perhaps also to explain that whole, in Africa, especially in our region, a lot of human rights commissions and ombuds have concerns around independence. To what extent is the Human Rights Commission? I see that there are so many powers. I don't think I've heard commissioners talking about these powers that the Zambia Human Rights Commission has. I think it's really impressive that you have the power to give these really powerful remedies. So just clarify a little bit on that. Yeah, there's another question from a hand. Unmute that hand. Any question? Any other hand?
Yeah,
I saw
hello?
a hand. Okay, go ahead,
Yes,
please.
yes. I wanted to I heard on the platforms where you can you can file some complaints, and there was he mentioned also Messenger as one of the platforms that you can make a complaint. But I remember there was a time that a complaint was made through Messenger and there was no response. I feel like I don't know if it's the admins who are in charge or the people that work on the complaints online are not really effective in terms of response. So if maybe they could, I don't know if they're working on some form of maybe an online form where people could make some complaints that they can also do some follow-up if they've made those complaints. Are they working on such things? I submit.
All right, thank you so much for that question. Danny, could you read the question in the chat? For some reason, I can't see the questions.
It's okay. There's a question in the chat from Kensington Zarikia. Is the Human Rights Act subject to change, or is it overpowered in certain instances, seeing that it is mainly an act of parliament and the constitution itself being more supreme? I'm going to read another question from Caroline, who says, I also wanted to find out if the WhatsApp line is something we can find online. Is it one line for Zambia? It's district or is it district province specific?
Okay,
That's
thank you so much. Yes, I think that's a lot of questions, enough questions to take this batch of questions, Shakespeare, and if there are any more, would continue.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll start with the 3-year bar. I indicated that in the Act is provided that a matter which happened 3 years ago and beyond, the Act does not allow us to admit it. I don't know what was the thinking of the legislature, but what it is that if a matter happened, we are in 2026, if it happened in 2022, 2021, somewhere there, and the complainant was aware about that violation and did not make an effort to report the matter to the institution, the Act gives us powers not to admit such matters. However, the Act gives some leeway where the institution can use its discretion to admit some matters depending on the demonstrated, hindrances which could have made that person not to reach the institution. The examples of hindrances which I can give, the setup of Zambia, we have, areas where some people, they stay on our islands, in the wrecks, there are some islands where maybe they could demonstrate that they had some difficulties, to travel or to access our offices. As I indicated that currently the offices are just at the regional headquarters. So in those actually, circumstances which can be demonstrated that a person has failed to file in their complaint because of those hindrances, the institution can bend itself and admit those. But generally, if a matter happened 3 years and beyond, the institution is not allowed to admit that such a matter. That's what the law provides. Then 2, on anonymity. The country has a law under whistleblowers. So what the institution does, if a matter is if information is given to the institution that there are these violations which tend to happen in this area, the institution will hide the person who has provided the information to the institution. And you remember in my presentation, I said the institution has powers to initiate its investigation on its own powers. So these who come in as anonymous will be covered under that. The institution will use its own powers under Section 18 to investigate that matter without actually announcing or indicating who has provided that information to the institution. 3, you talked about the independence of the institution. How independent are we? It is pronounced in our registration that the institution shall operate independently, shall not be answerable to any other organization. As any other national human rights institution, we don't fall under any ministry of government. What they have provided for in the registration is to provide an annual report of what we have done as a national human rights institution to Parliament. We present our report to Parliament. So Parliament scrutinizes our report when we present it. That is just to cling to position of independence. But you know, these are national institutions which are funded by government. So as we pronounce the independence there, the challenge is that we line up again in the same line with another government institution for funding from government. So that compromises the independence of this institution. Though the pronouncement is made there, but the independence is not so much pronounced because you are squeezed on the resources. They will give you a ceiling when you're making a budget that you can only budget up to this much. Already that compromises the independence. But generally, the independence is pronounced in the documents, but in the actual, plaques on the ground, the independence is compromised. I think that's how I can answer that. Then on platforms, we are taught that messenger, you talked about the messenger, but sometimes there's no response. Yes, we picked that. These are platforms which are manned by human beings. So sometimes there tend to be some lapses. We have identified that. So what the institution has done, it has developed a system which we call case management system. This is a program supported by the UNDP. So we have come up with a case management system which we are implementing now, where a person can access our platform using their phone, wherever they are. They can file in a complaint on their phone, and that complaint will pop in on the system, which does not only, is not only accessed by people in the situation room, it can be accessed by people like the supervisors who have access to the system wherever they are on their phones. So we thought through that any complaint which is filed to the institution can be picked by anyone from different levels according depending where they are. So that's how we are going around that. We identified that sometimes the complaints are filed in, but they are not really picked up there and then. But we are doing something on that, and actually now our technician ITs, they are rolling out the system to make sure that the case management system captures that. Then 5, there was is the HRC Act subject to change? Yes, this is a national document. Briefly, this institution was created in 1996. When the multi-party system, we know the history of Zambia and these other countries like Tanzania, Zimbabwe, they are mostly one party state democracy. But when we changed into multi-party. This is when the creation of these institutions like the National Human Rights Institution came on board. So we've been running the institution using the 1996 Act, but in 2024, we changed after a number of advocacy. You remember the institution was involved in advocacy to abolish the death penalty in Zambia, which we have abolished. So people felt that the mandate or the powers which were given in the Act of 1996 were not so broad for the institution to operate freely. So there was an advocate to change. So what I'm saying in short is that an act of parliament can be changed depending on the circumstances surrounding the surrounding the institution at that time. So this time in 2024, the country felt that we need to change this act and broaden its mandate and brought in the access to information, powers, then it gave the institution the legal personality that it can sue and it can be sued, it can represent the underprivileged people in society. So in short, I'm saying the act can be changed. The WhatsApp line, is not just restricted to the province. It's for the whole country. When someone accesses the WhatsApp line and files in their complaint on our WhatsApp line, it is able to be picked by our colleagues who are in the IT department and who are in our situation room. I think basically those were the 6 questions, Anna, unless there are other clarifications which I didn't make myself clear.
Thank you, Shakespeare. Yes, I think you've answered all the questions. We have time, a few more minutes. If there are, other people who would like to answer questions or sorry, to ask questions, or you want to follow up some of the answers, please do so. We'll take about 4 more, 4 more questions. Yeah. Any more? Raise your hand, then we'll unmute you or put it in the chat. Are there any more questions in the chat, Danny?
No, there isn't.
Okay, great. Yeah, maybe just from me, please clarify about timelines. How long does it take when someone has reported or filed a complaint? How long does it take for them to get feedback from your office? And also, secondly, there is this digital act. I can't remember what it's called specifically, but it deals with hate speech on digital platforms. I think you mentioned it. It's pretty new in Zambia. Would you be available to perhaps support education or awareness raising around the act? Because we are looking at it's election time, digital hate speech abuse, whatever is likely to happen to a lot of, citizens, not just LGBT, and maybe just taking people through the act, what it has for them, what they can do to report, what's expected. It would really go a long way to support people and address this kind of hate speech. That's just from me there. I know I was going to ask you to give us examples of, hate speech cases or complaints that you've handled and how they were resolved. I think you did that around indigenous people. So I think you only have to respond to that one. The other one, we are SALC. I don't want to put in a corner. We are SALC. We do strategic litigation, and sometimes we seek support from human rights commissions to come joined us to join the case and et cetera, et cetera. Is it something that, given the how independent it is, actually Zambia Human Rights Commission is much more independent than most. Is it something that the Human Rights Commission would be open to do? Be a join a case as, a human rights case specifically. Yeah, those are the questions from me. Danny, is there another one that Shakespeare can take all of them?
There's
Yeah,
another in the chat room.
Okay.
yeah, there's one in the chat box. It's from Kensington. They asked, in terms of compensation, are damages liquidated or unliquidated?
Okay, great. Take it away, Shakespeare.
Just a bit of a clear on compensation, you are saying what?
The question is asking the damages liquidated or unliquidated. I could ask the person who asked the question to clarify.
Yeah, at this rate, just a bit of clarification. I can start as you are doing the clarification. You are asking about the timelines. How long does it take for the institution to get back to the person who has filed in a complaint? So what we have done as an institution, from the powers provided for in the Act, we have come up with what we call a complaint handling manual. The complaint handling manual stipulates the timelines on how long should we take to get back to the person who has filed in a complaint. So basically, the first step is that within 7 days after receiving the complaint, we have to acknowledge receipt of the complaint to the person who has filed in the complaint. Within 7 days, we've got what we call a complaint handling committee, which sits to assess all the complaints which are received by the institution. So there are weekly meetings for a committee which composes about 10 people from the legal department, complaints department, from information. They all sit and assess whether the complaint filed meets the criteria of the institution. So when it's admitted, those timelines are provided. If it's admitted within such a period, the person should be informed that the person they have complained against will be contacted, and the response which that person will give. So those are covered under our complaints handling manual. So two, you talked about the awareness raising on the Digital Act. I think what I can say, yes, we are available. We have started it a bit to bring awareness. Most of our communities in Zambia, and I know in our region, generally most of our communities, they don't tend to follow the current affairs or development of these legislations, the implementations of these laws, the enactment of these laws. So you find that people are not aware. They may just share with the platform. Currently, the past 2-3 weeks, we are going into elections as Zambia. In August, we are going into elections, and on the ground is heated. People are campaigning now. One individual, came up with some images for the sitting president, that the sitting president had died, and put the images in a coffin and circulated to the members of the community. And how the reaction were. So this person, through our digital institutions, he was tracked, and he was arrested. So he didn't know that what he was making was an offense actually, and it was actually enacted that if you do such a thing, it's an offense. So we are welcome. We can work together to raise awareness on this. A number of our people in the community are not aware about this law. In short, that's what I wanted to say. I was just giving an example of the nature of cases which people are making on the ground because of this excitement of the elections. They come up with, these, expressing hate against the other opponents in the elections. So you are welcome. We can work together as an institution, but what we just needs to be done, these are government institutions. We need to do formal arrangements where a memorandum of understanding is signed with the institution. We have a number of memorandum of understanding with a number of national human rights institutions in the region, so that there are those guidelines. These government institutions, they operate with some guidelines. So you are welcome, Anna, on that one. Similarly, on litigation, our institution has joined as a friend in a number of cases where human rights issues are so pertinent that the institution feels that it has to show its face in those matters. So similarly, I would advise that the memorandum of understanding is written between the Southern Africa Litigation Center and the Zambia National Human Rights Institution, so that we have a basis on which to operate on. On the compensation, did we get the clearance from the person who raised the issue? Are they liquidated or not liquidated? I'm not so clear.
Sure, I'm understanding the question either. I've asked for the person to unmute. Kensington, we've asked you to unmute. Would you like to address the question?
Perhaps they're in a place where they cannot speak.
So maybe let me just scratch around. I don't know which direction they wanted to. So the way we are operating, the institution has got a registrar who does the assessment on the damages. So depending on the circumstances or the gravity of that matter, just the way the court line does it, the assessment will be done by our registrar. There are some guidelines, or under our access to information, there are some regulations where penalties are provided for. So depending on the assessment which is done on that matter which is presented before us, the persons who are given that mandate, they will assess and see that the compensation actually can fall within this range. Of course, that is not concrete. It can be challenged because we are not a court of law. This matter can still be, sent to court for assessment. So that is how we have been operating. Thank you very much.
Sorry, could you give, I think last time we engaged with human rights, we were given an example, because I think what they're trying to get at in this question, they've explained more is as in when the case has been made aware and adequate course of action has taken place, and in terms of the compensation for the complainant, when the final decision is made upon analyzing the situation or the stipulated document providing adequate compensation for each right, which has been violated. Last time when we engaged with HRC, they gave us an example of remember the tear gas incident at Unza, and a student had passed. I know HRC took that up and there was compensation for the family. And if I'm not mistaken, we were told the compensation was liquidated in cash form. So I think maybe they're trying to find out, like, is it always like in cash form, or maybe it's just like you're compensated in other ways?
Okay, I see. Yeah, what happened with the Onza case, as you stated, the time it happened, the institution didn't have legal personality. So mostly we relied on the advice from the Attorney General's chambers on how we could proceed. But currently, with the legal personality which the institution has, yes, there are some instances where the compensation can end up into cash, depending on the circumstances of the matter. But we have seen in some cases where maybe the action which was done led to a demolition of a shelter or a house because of what was perpetrated. We in Zambia, we have situations where if people just stand up and allege that Anna is involved in witchcraft and that he is the one or she is the one who caused the death of this person, the community will rise and destroy either your businesses, if you had the grocery or you had the housing, they destroy. It's such a house or a business entity. So we have had cases where a person may not be compensated using cash. There are recommendations where a building has to be re-erected for that person to be compensated in that form, or where they have been displaced on their land and something else has developed on that land, they are compensated by reallocating them another piece of land. So it takes in those forms. I hope I'm clear. Anna, I hope I'm clear.
I think you are. I think you are clear. Thank you so much, Shakespeare. I don't know if there are any more questions or clarifications from everyone or anyone. Otherwise, I think we will end here.
I'm
And
seeing
from
Vivian raising her hand.
oh, okay, I didn't see that. Please unmute.
I'm sorry, I do not see a hand. I think it was
Yeah, okay.
perhaps a
I think it's
reaction.
yes, I think it's a thank you, a clap. Yeah. Right.
Okay,
From yeah, it was somebody clapping, saying thank you.
okay.
Yeah. From SARC, thank you so much, Director, for the presentation and the responses. Everything was really, really very clear. Thank you for the willingness to do this webinar and work with us and support communities. We look forward to working with you more in future, particularly, the whole Human Rights Commission. Emilia, a quick thank you.
Thank you so much to HRC as well as SAUC for this very insightful interaction. As we continue as TBZ to document human rights violations, especially like I said earlier on. In these times, we work very closely. We've been working with Human Rights Commission in Western Province here in Lusaka. We're trying to break ground also in Southern Province, Chipata as well. We've got all those contacts. We've submitted some cases that have been dealt with, so we hope to continue improving upon that. Thank you so much for everybody. I think if anything else is required of me, I will be available. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Talk soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Sembeni nalibe chuma usongani kone Bangalipeza na kanza usonga vimbele Kati mendeo yanga yatioka ungankale plane I just wanna know Shikoni shibwela na kondisheni Sembeleze tati lai Usongani kone
The recording has stopped.
Nilanga muchifungo ngavivele Sembeleze bukoma Usonga nkale na